Welcome. I think I'm off mute. Welcome to another episode, Monday episode of You Left Shit Out. I'm your host, Compton J. Uh, got a good amount of people to start the stream out with. Welcome everybody. Welcome to everybody on Rockfin. We're really trying to boost our Rockfin. That's why I always shout it out because you see what's happening with YouTube. So we need to kind of get everybody, uh, in different places to understand that if we are able to ever taken out on YouTube, Rockfin, we want to have our content over there also. So shout out to Rockfin. Also, like this stream, if in a second, let me make sure everything looks good. Like this stream, so that more people can get this notification in their feed. And also, we're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by April 1st, which is our 1 year anniversary. We are maybe 900, a little less than 900 subscribers away. So if you like our content, please subscribe. All right, so let's get into the first story. I guess if we're going to call it a story. But the first thing that I'm going to be covering here, let's go to, oops. I'm going to be sharing my screen. But first, let me go to the channel. Also, if you didn't hear, we got Jill Stein for the third-party summit. So Dr. Jill Stein will be part of the third-party summit. I'll talk more about that a little bit later because I think I have found the video I have. So let me get through the commercial part of this and then I'll share my screen here. Never want to promote commercials. All right, so here we go. Let me just see what's going on in the chat. All right. So nothing major in the chat. All right. So thank you for everybody who is watching on YouTube, on Twitter. And like I said, Rockfin. Now the video is queued up. So let's share the screen. Here it goes. All right, share. All right, so we're going to cover the third story first, actually, because this is the story that, to me, I have the more, no, I'm not going to say that, but let's cover the first story first. So let's go ahead and play. Let's see if I can cue it up a little. Oh, no, he gets right into it in the beginning. Here we go.
I'm here with American comedian Kurt Metzger, and we're looking at this video. This is from an MP from Ireland. I think they call them MPs in Ireland. So this is a member of parliament. That's what MP stands for, right? I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it stands for. I don't know.
I had
anything.
no idea until you said.
Yeah. So anyway, and this is not going to be as funny as our last clip. Okay. This will be less funny, but it'll be poignant. And if you want to see us be funny, we're doing stand-up.
Now, I know many of you may have already seen this clip, and I have seen this clip, but if anyone is not going to have their video taken down of this clip, who's a leftist or who is left-leaning, it's going to be Jimmy Dore, and that's why I'm playing it through his instead of finding it through a different media source, because his content could get taken down, but of all of us, because he makes the most money for YouTube, I think he'll be the last to be taken down. So let's use his.
Stand-up comedy in Houston and Arlington, Addison, Dallas, the 22nd and the 24th of this month. And then we're going to Orlando and Tampa and every place else too in the country. Go to Jimmy Dore.
Also, we're gonna have his wife, Steph, will be on the third party summit. She'll be actually part of the panel asking questions to some of the candidates. We have like 4 panels for that, so just shouting her out. She'll also be part of the third party summit.
JimmyDoreComedy.com. I'd love to see you. Let's get together and laugh during World War III. But right now, this woman is going to point out the hypocrisy of people clutching their pearls over Ukraine while they're silent about everything else, all the other atrocities that are currently happening that the West is involved with. You know that we turned Iraq into we turned Libya into a failed state with open slave markets. We dropped more bombs in Syria. We ran out of bombs, 26,000 bombs. We're occupying Syria right now, third of it, the United States, I mean. And you know that we're currently helping Saudi Arabia commit a genocide in Yemen. And of course, we all know about the Israeli-Palestinian situation. So let's just listen to this.
There's no doubt about it. We're living in times of catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their masters. Yes, in Ukraine, but not only. Since the last plenary, tens of thousands of Afghani citizens have been forced to flee in search of food and safety. 5 million children face famine and agonizing and painful death. A 500% increase in child marriages and children being sold just so they can survive, and not a mention of it. Not here, not anywhere. No wall-to-wall TV coverage, no emergency humanitarian response, no special plenaries, not even a mention in this plenary. No Afghani delegations and no statements. My God, they must be wondering, what makes their humanitarian crisis so unimportant? Is it the color of their skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European? That their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president rather than a Russian one? Because, my God, all wars are evil and all victims deserve support. And until we get on that page, we have no credibility whatsoever.
That's absolute fire. Absolute fire. We're going to dissect that in just a second, but my overall response to that, and you don't hear this. You're not going to see this clip, or if anybody have seen this clip in corporate media, let me know. If somebody has seen this clip in corporate media, put that in the comments, or if you have the clip or something, because you're not going to see this, in my opinion, in corporate media, pointing out this fact. It's like the United States is pretending that everybody doesn't know what's happening here. How is it that America is involved with a lot of things that involve race, but we're not a racist nation? But they just happen to be connected to people or know somebody or fund somebody like the Nazis. They're fine with that type of stuff. So let's take it back and just go point by point that she makes here. I think he starts it here.
Catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their master.
Hold on, let me give her a little more time there. I was trying to skip Jimmy's
And you know
part.
that we're currently helping Saudi Arabia commit a genocide in Yemen.
Yeah.
So let's just listen to this.
There's no doubt about it. We're living in times of catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their masters. Yes, in Ukraine, but not only. Since the last plenary, tens of thousands of Afghani citizens have been forced to flee in search of food and safety.
You can't say that on corporate media, because guess who's the cause of that problem in Afghanistan? Sanctions is war. If you don't think starving people, having people have to migrate just to be able to live, This is how the United States plays ball. And Americans are fine with it because as long as it's not white people, there doesn't seem to be a problem. More of this young lady.
5 million children face famine, and
5 million children face famine. How is that not a human rights offense? We're steady pointing to other countries about human rights offense. Oh, who still believes this stuff? But our sanctions are causing stuff like this. But we're not human rights abusers. Like, it's no credit. We have no credibility.
an agonizing and painful death, a 500% increase in child marriages and children being sold just so they can survive, and not a
500% increase for survival. They use the what about women? What about these children? You know, the talking point, the war talking point. What about these children? The selectiveness of it's so transparent.
a mention of it, not here, not anywhere. No wall-to-wall TV coverage, no emergency humanitarian response, no special plenaries, not even a mention in this plenary, no Afghani delegations, and no statements. My God, they must be wondering what makes their humanitarian crisis so unimportant. Is it the color of their skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European, that their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president rather than a Russian one? Because
that is just beautiful. Let me put that back here. That is just hyping me up there. Last line here.
Skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European, that their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that...
Right. When the problems come from a US gun or US invasion, oh, there's no problem there. The Afghani kids that are starving, that's no problem because the cause of that is the United States. So there must be some just cause to starve over 5 million kids. It's the plague of white innocence. Dr. Kareem Batesh spoke about this in a video, an episode of mine. That, of course, a white country who's killing it, they are doing it for a righteous reason. All right.
Not European, that their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president?
To rob their country of their wealth. Foreign policy, we have to unmask more of this United States foreign policy to more United States citizens. Because what we are being propagandized to believe, some sort of justice or freedom or democracy that can be spread through a gun or a bomb, is absurd. The people who are remaining alive in a country after a war, whose family has been murdered through war, those people are going to go, hey, The people who did this, let's go and mimic their democracy. That makes sense. It's terrible.
Rather than a Russian one, because my God, all wars are evil and all victims deserve support. And until we get on that page, we have no credibility whatsoever.
That last part, we have no credibility. Like the emperor is naked here, and I mean, does America understand that the gig is up, or the jig is up? Part of the sort of results, one of the sort of the results of internet, in my opinion. And I can't remember the quote that Obama, I think it was Obama, said something negative about the internet is going to be the downfall or something of democracy, their democracy, what they describe. They're no longer the gatekeepers of information. Just think if we didn't have the internet. Who would we ever see any sort of opposite opinion like this? This is why independent media is so very important. And I'm going to get to another story, which is the Amy Martin story when YouTube took down their content. Like, it's just, her content is just absurd. But hang on one second here. I did get a suggestion here. Let me actually put the super chat up. So I'm going to, midstream, I'm going to change this here. This person is absolutely right. Did not realize that. So thank you not only for the super chat, but the heads up. It didn't even cross my mind when I did that. You see that? Like, I'm a free person. Mentally, I'm free. So the shackles that this fascist government has placed on us, like, it's just something that doesn't come to mind to me. So we're okay. So I'm here. So just bear with me while I change this title. Here, take this out of this title. Where is it? Barack Obama has, I'll just say it. And I'll take this out of the description too. All right, so that title is now different. It should be. All right, so I don't know how long it takes to update live, but thank you for the super chat. And yeah. All right. I'm going to switch to the next story, but I do want to play, I think, his reaction. Let's see what he says.
So that's pretty poignant. So that's something they'll never show on American television, and they'll soon be censoring on YouTube, believe me.
Did anybody go, but this is Europe, but Europe.
So, yeah. And so what we just did to Afghanistan for 20 goddamn years, and the Afghanistan papers prove that it was all just a money transfer. We went and occupied a country for 20 years, murdered people, slaughtered, made their lives miserable. For what? For nothing. We didn't even know what we were doing there, but it was a lot of money that was being transferred upwards to the military industrial complex. And that's what was the point of it. And now we're starving those people. So Joe Biden, and no one.
What are these people going to do when we rise up, when the world rises up? Are they just going to just kill all the workers, kill all the people who's not part of the 1%, and they just live on Earth alone? Like, who's going to work for them? I don't understand the end game, is what I'm basically getting at. I don't understand the end game, even from their perspective. But anyway, let's cut to the next story, which is Abby Martin. So I guess I always like to give a visual for the story. So let me see if I can find here. Let's close this. Let's go Abby Martin. Let's see what we got for her. Let's change the filter to what is it? Upload date. So it starts with the Abby Martin show banned on YouTube. That's Kyle. Oh, and that's our clip. Wow. Abby Martin dip platform. That's Breaking Points or Circular Talk. Oh wow. Okay. Abby Martin's Deli is democracy interview. So wow. It looks like these are my only choices. So let's let's look in the comments. Who do you want to see on the Circular Talks or Breaking Points? I'll just look through a couple of comments and see what people are saying here. Oh, nobody's saying anything. So I'll just pick this first one. Let's see.
Do you feel like you're stuck between the partisan mainstream media on one hand and online conspiracy theorists on the other? Well, you're not alone. The media is less trusted and more polarized.
Look what they're advertising.
So we just got this news over the weekend. Abby Martin tweeted the following. YouTube just banned almost 600 episodes of my old show, Breaking the Set. Years-long censorship campaign culminated in tech giants purging thousands of my critical interviews and reports about U.S. empire. Gutted. In 2017, U.S. Director of National Intelligence said Breaking the Set, quote, promoted radical discontent for covering things like socialism and third parties. The government campaign to censor forbidden viewpoints started then, and it won't stop until we're all gone. So I'm going to talk more about this in a second. Let's just finish the thread. Knowing this was coming still doesn't prepare you for the loss. Wasn't able to get the full archive. The channel hosted a community with a time capsule of comments and embeds in countless articles that are now dead, a chunk of the historical record removed in the blink of an eye. And then she says, this is a welcome development. Looks like I'll be able to get an archive of Breaking the Set. Sign up here to get notified when that happens and updates on my current work. Okay. So let's go through this here. Now,
that's it. I don't really want to hear his commentary. So you saw the tweet, but I did check the comments, and there were a couple of people that said Breaking Points. I did see the one that said Breaking Points is worse. I saw that, but let's see what they say about it. I just want to get a full information about the story, and then I want to get I'm not trying to listen to their take on it. So I get it. It's not. I understand everybody. So let's just see the information part of this.
Let's go ahead and move on to censorship. I mean, in terms of the social, societal, mass formation psychosis that we're seeing really around Russia, which has got to get us banned. But listen, I mean, at this point, who isn't getting banned from YouTube? So let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. Abby Martin, in her show, has now had 600 episodes of Breaking the Set.
I'm going to pause it there so everybody can see that tweet. Up close, big. YouTube just banned almost 600 episodes of my old show, Breaking the Set. Years-long censorship campaign culminated in tech giant purging thousands of my critical interviews and reports about U.S. empire gutted. Now, why couldn't they just say, hey, we're making these private, you can note these can't, some sort of way of doing that, to just delete them and get rid of them? That seems a little fascist-like, and that seems like vengeance for something to me. So it feels very fascist-like, and it feels like vengeance. Maybe the vengeance when she asked Pelosi about how the military is exempt from any sort of climate legislation, and how the military is the number one polluter. Everybody remembers that clip. I'm not going to play it because I'm sure that will be pulled for copyright. So maybe it's vengeance for that and several other things. And it's all under the guise of misinformation. And I tweeted this out months ago, and I said, misinformation is the same thing as fake news, the use of it. It's labeling something that is most likely true as false. It's the same use. So Joe Biden is doing the same thing that Donald Trump did. But he's taking it a step further. More effective evil. Like Nick always says. And he did a episode, and you should go watch it. It's titled that. Democrats are a more effective evil. Terrible. Just terrible. And I don't understand, why is it like she doesn't have access to it? Like, just make it to where it can't be seen. That is what I don't understand. So if I'm wrong, if she still has access to it, everybody put it in the comments. But it didn't seem like, nobody said that. Okay, just thought maybe anybody covered that. So let's finish the video.
Taken off of YouTube. That is completely crazy. And it just goes to show you that there's no reason given. Now, sure, Abby used to work for RT, but when you have Russian state media and these kind of blanket bans that they say are just all going to be taken off, and that content that includes them, there's no context as to exactly why any of this content gets taken off. It's just included in sort of blanket ban, and there is no discussion as to whether that content is valuable. I mean, we have played here clips from some of her content whenever the Empire Files.
Where are all the conservative First Amendment advocates on here? Have they spoken up? This is another thing. I just recalled this from another conversation I had with Nick. You're showing how you don't really believe in what you say you believe. Because if you believe in the First Amendment, what's happening here, you would point out too. Even if the person who is, if what the person is saying you disagree with. I disagree with liberals. I disagree with KKK members. I disagree with, Patriots fans. Do I think they should be banned from being able to say whatever the hell they want to say? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let's listen a little more of this and see.
Whenever they interrupted George W. Bush and called him a war criminal. Yeah. These are things which are valuable to public discourse and are now unable to be seen by the public. The other one that was taken off, let's put this up there on the screen, was Oliver Stone's documentary, Ukraine on Fire, which was taken off of YouTube, again, with no explanation, and has now been uploaded to Rumble. But the point is that nobody is talking about why. And listen, you may...
So if that's all the coverage, let me make sure they don't come back to it. That's all the coverage, because I don't really want to hear their opinion necessarily, and that's not shade towards either one of them. It's just, that's not what I'm trying to do in this segment. So, yeah, Abby Martin, content taken down. Let me put the other graphic up here and share that instead. What does everybody think of this? I'm going to take maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 comments, some good comments. So what do you think of this before I lay out sort of my thoughts? And I'm going to share something else here. Oops, clicked the wrong thing. Let's share a different screen. Is it this one? Yeah. Oh, so that's just the graphic for the show today. We've covered the Jimmy. We're on the Abby Martin. And the question is, I'm giving everybody time to put their comments in the chat. What do you think about Abby Martin's content? I think it said 600 episodes of her old show. being removed, banned from YouTube. She has no access to them, which is very weird to me. And like I said, it feels very fascist-like and like vengeance, like somebody's taking vengeance on her because they're deleted. Now, if they just made them private where she can't make them public, that's more of a misinformation. I'm trying to censor dissent. The deleting of it where she doesn't have access of her own content, that feels like vengeance to me. So, all right. So the question now, I see some comments in there. Let's now read some of your comments. So the question, again, for those that's just joining us, is what are your thoughts about YouTube deleting, banning 600, or I think she maybe have said over 600 episodes of her old show covering this failing empire? So let's go to comments. Let me scroll up to where maybe some comments began. Nothing there. Great. Oh, somebody's still voting there. I went too far up. All right, so I think I'm starting to get to the comments here. Here it goes. They aren't doing this to Abby, Martin, Lee Camp, etc. They're doing it to us, and it will get worse. Yes, I didn't forget about it, but Lee Camp, his show on RT, like his show redacted tonight for years. He had that show. And then this with Abby Martin, but it is about silencing all dissent. These are just big names that represent what they're trying to do. And if they're doing it to these bigger names, what do you think about a channel like ours? So thank you for the comment. Let's look for another one. Big Brother is watching. Obey Big Brother. Absolutely. That's why I always say on these, not always, but I've said it several times in these streams, and maybe people think I'm a conspiracy theories, but Big Brother is watching. Don't ever think that they're not in our spaces, because they are. So just understand, be solid enough with what you believe to understand that they already know what's going on. Okay, I'll skip that one. The government. Abby Martin. Okay, here we go. I'm looking specifically for the Abby Martin comments. That's why I was kind of skipping through for those wondering what was happening. So Empire and its board members have seen societal unrest boiling over for years, and they know better than most that the dam of civility is about to break wide open. They're trying to get ahead of it. Absolutely, I agree with this comment. I concur with this comment. They've been on the ground, the reporters, the journalists on the ground, getting all this information documented, right? Letting the world know what's going on. Like this is coming to an end. United States hegemony is coming to an end. And how are they going to react to that? This Russia-Ukraine is part of that reaction. The Russia oil pipeline with Germany, to break that up, and which it happened. Now it's broken up. The pipeline is built, but the deal is over. They're losing control. China's economy is likely better now, or bigger now, but by the end of this decade will be, I think it's at 50% more. I'll bring up that person. What's his name? Is Alfred. I saw him on Democracy Now! I saw him on a bunch of things, but he speaks about China, writes about China. about hegemony a lot. So I forget his full name. But anyway, thank you for the comment. Let's find another one here. Okay, this looks like or sounds like it's about this story. So it's messed up, honestly. I don't think they should be able to take down her or anyone else's work because it doesn't go along with the mainstream narrative. Absolutely. With the corporate stream narrative. Thank you for your comment, NBW Doughboy. Thank you. Let's see. Absolutely. It's criminal overtly authoritarianism. Might as well start burning books. I wish I could put a fire on that comment. It's criminal, in my opinion, and it's overtly authoritarian. Overtly. This is not behind this is overt. Thank you for the comment, Tony. Thank you. Let's get a couple more. Let's see if this one here. Let's go to this one. Democracy and excess population are the threat to profit. Democracy and excess population are the threat to profit. Democracy doesn't matter if people are ignorant. And I reckon that Fauci has a team working on a solution to the population issue. I see the little spike on that last comment there. Let's see. The evil empire is getting desperate, which is why it resorts into desperate measures. That's absolutely right. And thank you for. Oops, let me make sure I shout out your name here. Thank you for your comment. I think that's Hera. Thank you for your comment. All right, so now let's see. Let's move to the next story here. Let me actually give you more commentary here on this Abby story. What the ruling class, the oligarchy, the people who run the world and treat us all like garbage, right? They know that people are gonna eventually get tired of this. This is why they beefing up the military, and in particular in the United States, this is why they militarize the police, because they know people are not going to stand this for too much longer. And with them losing power, losing the economic dollar, just all sorts of things happening right now. Then the pandemic sort of fast tracking everything. What's the way they said? It's not surprising. It's shocking. Because it's so blatant, like somebody said, it's overt. Authoritarianism is overt. And the people aren't reacting, in my opinion, how they should be reacting. How is this any different than what the United States points out in other countries? You know how they like to say human rights? Oh, women can't go to school here. Journalists can't do this over there. Really? What's happening to Julian Assange? What happened with Jamal Khashoggi? What happened with him? How did we just say, "Oh, it's okay, Saudi," when we found that MBS was the one behind it? What economic sanctions have they gotten? How often do you call them out for their human rights violations? And we're not even on Yemen with Saudi Arabia. Starting wars, just to have wars, to make money, not caring whether you win or lose, and losing. We're in late stage capitalism here. This hellhole we have. And voting is not going to fix any of this. That's what we have to wrap our heads around is like voting is not going to fix all of this stuff. So let's get to the Obama story. Obama. Actually, you see this? You can't. Let me share you so you can see my search for a video just to kind of give us a background on it. Obama. Let's see what pops up. So there's one story. But I'm just going to change this to upload date to make sure I get everything here. Maybe I should switch that back. Okay, I wanted to get a corporate media's take on it. So here goes one. They're going to have a commercial, huh?
When you order carryout online, we'll tip you $3 to use on your next order for being your own delivery driver. Because every delivery driver deserves a tip.
Great. Gotta watch this whole bullshit.
Domino's tip me $3. Only at Domino's.
I hate watching commercials.
Former President Barack Obama says he has tested positive for COVID-19. Mr. Obama said he had a scratchy throat for a couple of days. Otherwise, he's feeling pretty good. The former president says he and his wife, Michelle, are grateful to be vaccinated and boosted, and he is encouraging more Americans to get vaccinated if they haven't already done so.
Look how quickly they took that story off. He has it. Vaccinations, bye. Why even put that shit out? Just so you'd be able to say, oh, we covered that shit. Did you? His throat was a little scratchy. Other than that, he's fine. Go out and get a vaccination. You're just not going to talk about the breakthrough case? Just going to let that go by? Okay, so let's see what the next one will be here. How about I switch the filter? No, here it goes. I was trying to find this, but there it goes there.
President Obama has tested positive for COVID. He says he's had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but otherwise feels okay. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has so far tested negative. And China is reporting its worst COVID outbreak in some 2 years.
Hey, Obama has it. Yeah, we understand. He was vaccinated and boosted, but he got it. All right, look over here. China. You saw that? Look, China. The title clearly says, oops, Barack Obama tests positive. But let's throw in some China shit.
Years.
Let's see how many seconds that is.
Former President Obama has tested positive for COVID. He says he's had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but otherwise feels okay. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has so far tested negative. And China is reporting
9 seconds
COVID outbreak in
9 seconds of this minute and 18-second video was about Obama. I don't understand how people don't just blatantly see this type of shit here. I don't understand that, like, liberals that follow this shit. I don't understand how they don't go, what the fuck? I thought y'all was just about to tell me what's happening with Obama. But y'all talking about China? What the kind of shit is this? I don't understand why you don't have that reaction to this. Yeah. Exactly, Bryce. It's laughable. It's laughable. But let me just see what they say about China. So let's back it up a couple seconds, see what they say about China.
its worst COVID outbreak in some 2 years. It reported more than 1,800 new symptomatic infections Sunday, tripling the previous day. Let's take a look at your Monday weather.
Oh, these
Temperatures are rising.
These motherfuckers threw in weather too. These motherfuckers threw in weather too. What the fuck? They threw in China and weather into a video titled "Obama has COVID." 10 seconds. Now, this is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm a little what's the right word? Shocked. Not surprised, but shocked. Like exactly. Obama has COVID. Now, everyone back to the office. Let's see this. This is comedy. Let's see this shit again.
Former President Obama has tested positive for COVID. He says he's had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but otherwise feels okay.
They're literally reading the statement. That's all they're approved to say. You notice how he says the same exact wording as the previous news station, which was the Today Show, which is NBC. It's the exact wording. Said he had a scratchy throat, but other than that, why are you wording it exactly like that? You're reading the exact sentence they told you to say about this, huh?
Former President Obama has tested positive for COVID. He says he's had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but otherwise feels okay. Former First Lady Michelle Obama has so far tested negative. And China is reporting its worst COVID outbreak in some 2 years. It reported more than 1,800 new symptomatic infections Sunday, tripling the previous day. Let's take a look at...
I mean, okay, the China part is not Obama, but at least it's still COVID. How you just gonna throw some fucking weather in this shit? Like how are you throwing weather? This shit is hilarious to me. I guess it's just me. This shit is like, if I wasn't live, I would be dying laughing with this shit here.
At your Monday weather.
It's almost like you can see his face, like he's uncomfortable knowing, look, I know that was just 20 seconds and the rest of this video is about some weather. You can see the uncomfortableness in his face.
At your Monday weather.
I could be reading into it. But anyway, all right, that is amazing to me. I mean, I know everybody, you're seeing me real life, real time reacting to me being shocked to that. That's amazing. Does this person have the tweet? Oh, it's in a different language though, so I don't know. Does that say Nazi? What does that say? That channel. Where is it? Right here. Oh no. Nate. Okay, never mind. So no, it doesn't. Any other corporate media? So we got, there's a CBS has one. Nope. Oh, who is this? That doesn't look like a corporate media. Oh, here, they don't talk about it. I'm surprised Fox doesn't have a story. Well, how could they play that? I guess. Wow. So that's surprising. This is a local news. Is this local news right here? No, it's another country. Okay. Looks like Cambodian writing there. I only know that because I went to school in part of the time of high school in Long Beach. And it's a large Cambodian community. I think it's called Little Cambodia. Yeah, it's called Little Cambodia. So I have a lot of friends. So the writing, the storefronts down there, some of them have that same writing. That's why I sort of recognize it. If it's similar, maybe it's not Cambodian writing. Maybe it's something similar, but it's similar. But anyway, that's the Obama story. I'm going to take this off. Actually, I'm going to put the other thing back on here. Actually, yeah, let's put the other thing back on. So that's the corporate coverage of Obama getting COVID. But it's very telling to me how both corporate outlets use the same exact line as if, and that's all they say. The other video was like 39 seconds. Part of it with an advertisement, a shout out at the back and the end of the video. And then the other one literally talked about Obama for 10 seconds. They read the line, the exact wording, and then they got the fuck out of Dodge. So it's very telling. So maybe he's more ill, has more symptoms than they're leading on, or something else. I'm looking for here is the Julian Assange story. WikiLeaks breaking. UK Supreme Court refuses permission to appeal in Assange extradition. The case now moves to UK Home Security Priti Patel to authorize the extradition. Let's just see which comrades are in the quoted tweets here. I'm sure there are probably a couple here. People for Assange. The West is obsessed right now with protecting freedom and democratic rights, and yet in the UK, Julian Assange has been denied the right to appeal, leaving it to the UK Home Security to decide if he is extradited or not. And guess what you think they're going to do and say? Guess. See if there's any comrades that I know I can shout out here. Fiorella. As the U.S., NATO, and the same warmongering culprits continue their agenda of global conquest, wars, coups, lies, and manipulations while censoring the public and any dissenting journalistic voice, it is clear Julian is but one of many who will pay a price for demanding the truth. Every word of that is great. Thank you, Fiorella. Okay, so let's see. There's one or two more people that I personally know here that I can throw up. We won't go long. No, and no. So let's move on to the next thing here. What I'm looking for is the Jill Stein announcement. Oh, actually, I can click it here. Oh, here it goes. I can click it here. There we go. So we're proud to announce Dr. Jill Stein as one of the contributing speakers at the Third Party Summit. So fantastic. She'll be there speaking. I mean, it'll be a lot of people there speaking. We're trying to get Howie still. I mean, if we could get Jesse, that'll be a miracle. But if we're able to get Jesse, it'll be a miracle. But Howie, we could likely may still be able to get. Someone told me that Angela Walker is out of the game and she's not willing to come on. So not her directly, but someone else who had also been trying to get in contact with her. So there's that. Now let's talk about some of what I'm going to go over a couple of. So actually, let me put this up here. Third Party Summit, last call for candidates. So if you know anyone, and we're taking all third parties. So we're not, the summit is not to advocate for each candidate. It's simply to say, these are third party candidates, people outside of the duopoly. Here you go. Right. And then we're going to have discussions. And that's the part I was trying to get to. What is going to be different about our summit compared to maybe Marianne Williamson's summit about candidates is, we're going to have segments, maybe 1 to 2 hour block of times. We're going to have 4 of them where the candidates are going to talk about topics. So here is candidate segment number 3, which is going to be on Sunday, March 20th. Let me read it here. Third Party Summit candidate segment number 3, Sunday, March 20th, 2 p.m. Topics. Oh, actually, that might be switched to 1 p.m. because there's some sort of scheduling conflict. So if that can't be resolved, it may be switched to start at 1 p.m. Topics on this particular segment, the candidate segment number 3, will be the climate crisis, American policing, immigration, trans rights, American election, or election integrity, whatever you want to call it. So let's see what the next graphic is here.
They own you. They own everything. They own all the important
I'll come back to
land.
that.
They own and control the corporations. They've long since.
I'll come back to that video. That video was attached to this isn't what I'm looking for. The Jill Stein graphic. So here is another one. I'll announce 2 of them today, and tomorrow I'll talk about the other 2. This is candidate segment number 4, which will be Sunday, March 20th. Also, this one is at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. On the West Coast. Topics on this segment will be healthcare, reparations, student loan debt, Democratic Party, Republican Party. So we don't want surface level. We want you to know about the candidates, not on a surface level. We want you to hear their opinions. So these are 2 of the segments at the Third Party Summit. And again, the Third Party Summit is this Friday through Sunday, the 18th through the 20th. So make sure you tune in for that. Outside of that, I'm going to be taking off here, covered all the stories I wanted to cover. Like things, shit is crazy now. I'm just going to leave it there. Shit is crazy right now. And it's like somebody said earlier, it's only going to get worse. But that is the hour. Wow, it actually kept it within an hour today. So I'm going to be signing off here. So remember, 18th through the 20th, we got 4. Oh, that's my wife's phone. 4 candidate segments, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. We may have to add some, because we're adding more candidates. We may have to add some. The Libertarian New York delegation, like all the people that are running, all the libertarians that are running, they may be a part of it. So we'll see. So we may have to add a 3rd or a 5th and 6th candidate segment on Friday to accommodate all the candidates. So yeah, so it's growing. But Brianna Joy Gray will be there. Ryan Knight will be there. I think Nico House has responded. Franco from Frank Analysis. Of course, RBN people. Aaron Fights. I call him Aaron Fights on YouTube. That's part of his name. His name is Aaron Fights. Is not a last name, but it's part of his name. Fights for justice, like he says, Aaron fights for this, Aaron fights for that. So that's the reason why I call him that. But anyway, that is all I have today. Thank you for those who joined me today. Thank you for those that joined me today on YouTube. Oops, looking at the wrong camera. I always have another camera here. Thank you to those joining me on YouTube today, on Twitter, on Facebook, and I'm missing one. Oh, Rockfin. Thank you for those watching on Rockfin. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. You Left Shit Out. I'm your host, Compton J.
Community. The 10-point program. Number one, we want freedom. We want the power to control the destiny of our black community. Number two, we want full employment for our people. Number three, we want an end to the robbery by the white man of our black community. Number four, we want
most white Americans saw only their guns and heard only their violent rhetoric. But black militant groups like the Black Panthers were the demanding voice of a younger generation that had given up on Martin Luther King's nonviolent tactics. Their implied threats of violence and their radical political agenda made them extremely frightening to mainstream America.
Number nine, we want all black people when brought to court to be tried by a jury of their peers or people from their black communities as defined in the Constitution. Number 10, we want land, justice, housing, education, clothing, and peace. And as a major political objective, a United Nations supervised plebiscite to be held throughout the black colonies of America, in which only black people will participate to decide or determine the will of black people as to their national destiny. Right on, brother. Right on. Right on.
Our parents were very negative about the Black Panthers. And so whenever you mentioned it in my house, my mother would go loopy. But once I started to talk with a lot of people and people who were affiliated with the Black Panther Party, I decided that they had a good program and that I really started looking inwardly at myself and who I was and where I was going and what I wanted to do and what I wanted my children to be or how they would grow. And would they grow with this inferiority complex that the white society had pushed on us so long? And I decided that I wanted to go the route of the Black Panther.
Congratulations, you are now registered to vote in the Alameda County of California.
As the Panthers organized voter registration drives, health centers, and food distribution programs, they won growing support in black communities nationwide.